saying that my voice is audible. So that's it. A very, a very good evening to all uh, distinguished participants from all over the country. Uh, the team from Alembic, including Dr. Santosh Shinde, Dr. Naresh Kulkarni, Dr. Gangadhar Tomre, so who are the knowledge partner for us, and my fellow colleagues who are managing all this program. And today we'll be having or we'll be witnessing three lectures by the eminent speakers from our country. One will be, the first lecture will be given by Dr. C.H. Pause, Dr. Chaitanya Pause, sir. He is presently working as Professor and Head, Department of Animal Reproduction, Gynecology and Obstetrics, PGIVAS, Akola. He is working in our institute only. And he's one of the legendary authors in reproductive biotechnology. And he would be dealing with subject assisted reproductive technologies for augmentation of production in goats. Then the second lecture would be delivered by Dr. U. Krishnamurthy sir, and he also don't need any introduction. Dr. U. Krishnamurthy sir is an ex-professor and head Department of Livestock Production and Management, College of Veterinary Science, Hebbal, Bangalore. And then third lecture will be of Dr. Ashok Kumar sir. He is also one of the legendary person working in Central Institute for Research on Goats, Magadum, as a principal scientist of veterinary clinical medicine. So, dear friends, today we'll be having these three lectures, and now I would like to introduce today's first speaker, that is Professor Dr. Chaitanya Pause, sir. Professor Dr. Chaitanya Pause, sir. So, friends, Professor Dr. Chaitanya Pause, sir, is presently working as Professor and Head, Department of Animal Genetics and Department of Animal Reproduction, Gynecology and Obstetrics, Postgraduate Institute of Veterinary and Animal Sciences, Akola. He is MVSC, PhD, and PDF from Wisconsin University of USA. Sir has 31 years vast experience in teaching, research, as well as extension. Initially, he joined the research services at National Institute of Immunology, New Delhi, and he worked there for 7 years as a senior scientist. Thereafter, he joined MAPSU, Maharashtra Animal and Fishery Sciences University, and till date, he is working in MAPSU itself. Dear friends, I would like to tell about his career. Throughout his career, he is a recipient of 14 different awards of national and international repute. So he has ISAR Young Scientist Award for 6 times. Also, he is a Boykos Fellow, FISSR Boykos Fellow. Along with that, he has been awarded with the Best Researcher Award by the MAPSU. He is Krishi Bhushan. He is awarded with Krishi Bhushan Awards and lot many other awards. But he got 14 distinct awards. About publications, Sir has more than 150 papers, of which 47 papers he has published in the international journals with a high impact factor, and 103 research papers in national journals. Then he has 2 books on his credit and more than 15 manuals and booklets he has published. So friends, now this is time to listen Dr. Chaitanya Pause, sir. And he's literally a legendary professor, legendary researcher working in the assisted reproductive technology. That's why we invited him for this particular lecture. And I'm sure that definitely you'll enjoy his lecture, and you'll find it full of energy. So thank you very much. This is what his introduction is. Now, I would request Dr. C.H. Pause, sir, to please start his presentation. Pause, sir, please. Just wait for a minute. Pausi sir will be with us. He is here only. We are just having some arrangements. So, friends, now Dr. Pausi sir is with us, and he will be sharing his slides. Whether slides are visible?
Yes, visible.
Yes, Dr. Naresh?
Visible, visible.
Visible, sir.
Whether these slides are visible?
Visible, sir. You can just
Shinde
do
sir?
the full screen and continue, sir. You have to just only make the full screen.
So, thank you, friends. Now I'll call upon Dr. Chaitanya Pause sir to deliver his lecture. Sir, Pause sir, please. Dr. Pause sir, please.
Good evening to all participants. First of all, I just thanks to Dr. Girish Panchabhai because he gave me the opportunity to, he's a coordinator of this program and he gave me the opportunity to just deliver my lecture. Also, I am thankful to the Associate Dean, Dr. Bikane sir. He's also course director of these things, and with his wishes, I am just presenting my today's lecture on the assisted reproductive technology for the augmentation of goat production. So, sir, for that one, we will enjoy the things. I will not create more problem for you. But friends, I'm working on this technology from last more than 30 years, because when I was student of the MVSC, I started my work on the embryo transfer technology in cattle for my MVSC program. Then I joined the National Institute of Immunology and learned all the technology for the assisted reproductive technology, which is the important for today's program. So tremendous development have been achieved in the field of assisted reproductive technology, both in the human and animal in the last 2 decades. In livestock, including goats, the modern ARTs are being used for the improvement and preservation of livestock genetic and enhancement of the reproductive efficiency. The different assisted reproductive technology is the artificial insemination, it's the synchronization, embryo transfer, in vitro embryo production, intracytoplasmic sperm injection, cryopreservation of the gametes, then sexing of the sperm and embryos, cloning and gene transfer, particularly the transgenic animals. Friends, why the biotechnology important in the goat reproduction? And really, the goat is the important model for to produce the transgenic animals. And that's why the most of the concern for the ETT, IVF, and all these things is concentrated towards to produce the genetic transgenic goat for the propagation and useful genetic gender pre-selection. I will discuss in the next slides, but what is the important is also important. The next thing is that when most of the time the ghost is a seasonal breeder, most of the cold and temperate region is very difficult to inseminate or make the animal pregnant, and that's why it is important to develop the technology with the synchronization and artificial insemination. We inseminate the cattle and make that cattle pregnant throughout the year. The third is most important nowadays in human, they are using the assisted reproductive technology, particularly the IVF technique, and they don't have the model to learn. There is to learn as an embryologist. They use the goat model. It's the best model to learn the human doctors for the IVF system. In our institute also, we are teaching to the human doctors for the IVF technology, and we are earning the money from this technology. Then also the goat IVF, it is important for the pharmaceuticals. Most of the fertility drugs They can use it for the embryo transfer technology or IVF, so the sperm related or oocyte related. So these are the most important things related to the goat embryo transport. Then the first important is the artificial insemination. We will start now what is the different reproductive technology. The first is important, the artificial insemination. The friends, it is the oldest technology for the production of the productivity, improve the productivity of the animals. That time we don't know what is this type of things. Now we are concerning with it is the part of the biotechnology. But that time just to the scientists just find out the sperm and they collect the sperm and they inseminate the animal and use this technology. And now this is the oldest technology, but it is reached to the farmers level. It's reached to the farmers door without very near about a very low cost of technology. So this is important because AI technology maximizes the use of the outstanding male and disseminate the superior genetic material to improve the rate of efficiency and genetic selection. Introduce the new genetic improvement in the semen rather than live animals. So particularly in the artificial insemination, there are 3 techniques they are using: vaginal, cervical, and intrauterine transfer. Particularly, most of the time we are just inseminating at a natural. We are not, most of the time people are using the natural mating. But if you want to produce good quality of work or good quality of female also, the people are using the artificial insemination because most of the time we don't have the good male. We can just import the male, or nowadays there is a ban on the import of the animals. For that one, we purchase the semen and then we inseminate our goat or sheep or any cattle, buffalo. And now this is the transfer of the material from the Western country to Indian country and develop the breed. And these are the most important. Cervical and intrauterine, nowadays the people are using the laparoscopic method for the artificial insemination. But particularly we are using the very simple method, cervical method. We just inseminate, but it is very different from the cattle. In case of cattle, now it is a sophisticated technology. But in case of the goat, it takes time for the insemination of this. But the main problem is that when the today's or real concern, the conception rate in the feed animal is very low in Indian condition because no one is using the artificial insemination technology. Very few people, those are having the organized farm. They are using this artificial insemination technology for to improve their breed. But generally, nowadays people are asking about you are available semen or not, and all these things. And particularly the buyers produce good quality of semen, and they are selling and semen for the fertilization of this technology. Then next is the synchronization of estrus and artificial insemination. Because in case of goat, it's very difficult to find out the animal in the heat. It's very difficult to detect the animal for heat, and insemination is related to the heat of that animal. Generally, 26 to 28 hours of the heat of that animal, and in between that period, we want to inseminate the goat because ovulation is taking place at that time. And it is also important to transfer the spermatozoa, particularly the proper time, otherwise it will not failure. And also it takes the capacitation and acrosome reaction in the reproductive tract of that particular female. So we are using the synchronization protocol to just to minimize the things. And what is the synchronization? It is a manipulation of the reproductive cycle in an animal with help of hormone. Particularly, the main approach is controlling the estrus to administration of the progesterone type of compound. So we are adding the progesterone compound to just extending the luteal phase. We are using the intravaginal sponge. We are using the subcutaneous sponge for the insertion of the progesterone hormone, particularly. Then another is the administration of the luteal agent, particularly the prostaglandin, in which we are reducing the luteal phase of that animal. And third one is the synchronization program, OSH protocol. Now the scientists control the ovulation also with the help of hormone. And according to our wish, we just inseminate that animal. So we can do the insemination because most of the time, if we are inseminate goat per month, 1 goat, 2 goat, 3 goat, and it takes time. We don't have that much of time. Technology is changing very fast. So if you synchronize the 10 goat, 15 goat one day, and if you are using the synchronization and artificial insemination program, so we can achieve this technology, because nowadays sex semen is available. We just sorted the X and Y chromosome sex semen, and according to our requirement, we can inseminate that animal. So these are the very important synchronization. In our area, most of the people contacting us in Maharashtra, particularly the goat is now coming up as an industry. Most of the farmer, they are using in case of Bombay, particularly Ratnagiri or Konkan part, they are using this goat farming as an industrial type of things. They are using the side business also, and they are just increasing the goat population and using for the side business. So this is the industry type of things is coming up, and for that one we should ready a different program to improve the fertility of that animal. So, and in such case, if we don't have the male, because it is a costly affair, or also if you want to introduce the Western country or Sanin or different, if the male from the Bikaner side or Rajasthan side is good, and we are want to just produce this type of goat, so in that case we can just purchase the semen, synchronize our animal, and artificially inseminate that animal, and then we can produce the good quality male and female for that our herd. So this is the most important for the production biotechnological achievement for the synchronization of articles in insemination. But what is the benefit of that program? It is important. I already told you it's very difficult to say the efficiency of that animal. Heat detection is very difficult. We cannot detect. We just find out what is type of goat is available, because most of the things is our labor. Those are concerned with the goat. They are finding and they don't know. They are not aware about the heat and all these things. Most of the time, because if you send a goat to the grazing, it's very difficult to detect the heat. So improve the heat detection, which is important for the synchronization of estrus. Control the time of AI. According to our wish, we just inseminate the animal. If we want, according to 2 days, I want to inseminate all the goats. So we can synchronize the animal and inseminate the animal. 10-15 animal 1 day or 2 or 3 hour job. So we can inseminate the animal 2-3 hours, 10-15 animals. So synchronization is most important. Reduce the variation in the kidding interval, because most of the time we require particularly kidding throughout the year, because goat is a seasonal breeder, and if we want the Itka Bakra, such type of things, if we want our male population particularly particular time, so with the help of synchronization of estrus and artificial insemination, we can produce according to. So we reduce the variation of feeding interval, or we can just find out. Means according to we just in between 2 kidding, we can just reduce the interval, and we can make our animal pregnant. Most of the time, we are also having very good Berari goat farm, and in that Berari goat farm, it is the pride of the Vidarbha region of the Maharashtra. And in that one, within 1 month after kidding, we immediately inseminate the cattle and we make the animal pregnant. So it will be very helpful for that one. Most of our students also working on the synchronization program, but the limitation of those program, particularly in this presentation, I will give the presentation particularly what is the work in the world, where we are in the India also, but what is the limitation of that program also I will explain, and limitation of the synchronization or artificial insemination, inadequate technical skill and infrastructure. Particularly, we don't have the good technical skill person, and because the sector is not completely organized or completely it is not most of the government also is not keeping these things, and we are using the natural mating and all these things. So we are not mostly related to the what is the reproductive things is available related to the reproductive development of reproductive biotechnology. Lack of extension program for the transfer of technology in proper way, because most of the time extension is lacking for the technology transfer. And in the past, consider attention has been focusing the estrus synchronization. However, there is an urgent need to additional research conduct for the organization, organized and systematic fashion to help establish the guidelines for efficient breeding and AI of the program. Okay, friend, if any question we can discuss after the completion of my seminar. So the next important technology is the embryo transfer technology. What is the embryo transfer technology? It is the artificial method of breeding where the newly formed embryo prior to implantation are recovered from the donor female and transferred to the reproductive tract of the other any same species animal. So if they are the inferior or anything, they are low costing or low producing, we are used as a recipient. Only the thing is important, they are the reproductively sound. We require the reproductive sound animals for that program. So important things is the what is the important application of the embryo transfer technology? It is increase the production from the genetical superior female. Okay, we are having the good female or we are having the imported female Sanin like our thing. We just importing the Sanin from the France, and if we want to propagate that animal, so we can superior the animal and we collect the embryo and transfer to our recipient animal, and we can get the good quality Sanin breed. So this is type of the application in the embryo transfer technology. It is to maximize the value of the semen. If we are having the good quality semen, we can superior the animal, artificial inseminate the animal, collect the embryo and transfer the embryo. So we can get a very good quality of the kids produced from this superovulation or embryo transfer technology. We production the multiply birth because we can transfer 2 embryo, 3 embryo, 4 embryo. So we increase our the kidding percentage particularly. And important thing in the embryo transfer technology or the genetic engineering for the production of the transgenic animal, cloning animal, and study of the sexing. So many reproductive technology we require the embryo, and from that or that one the embryo transfer technology is very good. Then first embryo transfer in the goat was reported in the 1934, but after that one this is the area in between the area we are lacking these things. But after the 1980s there is a huge demand for the Angora goat and the mohair goat for the wool, and for that after that one the most of the commercial people are using the embryo transfer technology for to produce or multiply this Angora or mohair goat for the production of the wool. There are the three particular method for the embryo transfer technology: laparoscopic method, surgical method, and transrectal method. For particular transcervical method, earlier people are using the surgical method. In 1994, 1992, we are working very huge way in the National Institute of Immunology for the goat embryo transfer, because at that time we are working on the transgenics animal to produce the transgenics goat for that one. But particularly nowadays, the improvement of the technology is there, and laparoscopic method, transrectal method, transcervical method people are using for that one. But it requires very high technical advancement for the laparoscopic and transcervical collection of the embryos. The success of it is most important, because if after superovulation on all these things, if we are not getting proper things, then it is a create a problem. And the success is related to the management of donor and recipient, because we require the very good quality of the donor, we require very good quality of healthy reproductive recipient also. For that one, their nutritional status is very good, and their genetic potential also very important for the donor related. If we are having inferior type of donor genetic constitution, then it is not helpful for the propagation type of technology. Then synchronization of donor and recipient is also most important. Superovulation of donor, particularly for the superovulation, we are using the follicle stimulating hormone, or earlier people are using pregnant male serum gonadotropin. The FSH is the good follicle stimulating hormone. It is increase the follicular genesis, particularly good number of follicles produced, but the cost is more related to. And also the FSH we are using, it is a porcine origin, and that porcine origin create a problem for the superovulatory response, and that's the main important factors affecting the embryo transfer technology. Then next is the embryo collection and evaluation. Most of the time we are collecting embryo by surgical method, and if anything is a problem is there, if we are not collecting proper embryo, the complete the program is disturbed. Or if we are concerning very less amount of embryo, again it is a problem, because after the superovulation the size of ovaries increase, and it's very difficult to catch the embryo, particularly catch the oocytes by the funnel, fallopian tube, and it's very difficult to catching, because the size of the ovaries increases during the ovulation, and then it is create a problem for the production of the good quality embryo, and that's the main problem for the collection of embryo. Then evaluation of embryo, transfer of embryo, because after transfer means particular to the survival of embryo, when we are doing the surgical transfer and if you are handling the ovary, If your hand is just touched to the ovary, it immediately utilizes of the cell because corpus luteum is very fragile in case of growth, and it's create a lot of problem, particularly for the animals. So these are the related to the embryo transfer technology. These are the different factors which affect the embryo transfer technology. So limitations is mostly superiority treatment and cumbersome and expensive because the cost of the FSH is very high, and most of the time nowadays throughout India I'm working on the embryo transfer technology and IVF in our department, but we are facing a lot of problem for the FSH. Throughout the medical, throughout the pharmaceuticals, we don't have the FSH because it is the nowadays specialist of hormone, and it is not required. If you want to purchase the FSH, it requires the government permission for to purchase the things, and it's very expensive nowadays, and that's the main problem. People are saying to produce the embryo transfer technology, to produce the embryo, but it's very difficult to get the super embryos, to get the FSH, which hormone particularly required for the superovulation. Then another important limitation is the superovulation protocol in use today is not a single and failure, particularly concerning the predictability or reliability of the response, because sometimes the goat will be respond to your FSH, or sometimes it will not responding. It creating the problem, and that's why the superiority response is creating the problem for the goat production or embryo production. Environmental factor is also most important because most of the time in case of Maharashtra, particularly Vidarbha region, in the summer season, we are having the temperature 47, 48, 49. In that time, it's very difficult to superovulate the animal. It's very difficult to produce the embryo because throughout the environmental temperature is very high. And these are the problem. Genetic also, age, stage of the cycle, and the treatment applied to the important related to the, and this is the main important limitation. Environmental factors such as the season, I already explained. Nutrition, if we are lacking the nutrition, then it's create a problem. Health status, air type, and these are so many problems in embryo transfer technology. Inadequate trained person, because particularly most of our universities also, sir, most of our friends, we are you join this training program. Some are the students, some are the veterinary surgeons working in the field, some are the academicians, some are the scientists also. They are joined the things from the LPM department, and I am explaining the what is the reproductive technology and all these things. But friends, we don't in our university we are not teaching related to embryo transfer technology or this reproductive type of. In our course, we are lack behind, particularly in our course curriculum. Another thing is that when we are teaching the theoretically, because we don't have the trained person for this technology, because it's a costly affair. Most of the university not having the infrastructure for the reproductive technology type of lab, and that's why it's creating the problem, and that's why it's also important to create a problem for our student. And there, that's why in our throughout the India, very few people, concerned people working on this technology, and that's why we are having the trained power for the use of this technology. But friend, in the future, it's requirement. We don't have this type of, we cannot say to the farmers, we don't have the trained person for that one. And nowadays, it is important technology because from last 4 to 5 year or 7 years, throughout the complete animal husbandry change, revolutionized, and they are saying each and every ministers and most of the political person, they are saying we want more important from the veterinary universities to produce, use the artificial reproductive technology and produce good quality of elite cattle, good quality of buffalo, good quality of the goat, and that's why we are ready. We should ready for that technology, but there are the limitations. Then the next technology is the in vitro fertilization and embryo transfer technology. So, friend, recent advances in the embryo technology to allow to produce the embryo from the ETT. But I already explained it is a very costly affair, and for that one we require for the research very large number of embryo, and for that one it's very difficult to produce from the embryo transfer technology because I already cost of embryo of research, cost of the media, cost of the technical person, and it's very difficult to produce that type of embryology embryo for the research purpose. So in vitro fertilization and embryo production is very good, And particularly throughout my from student to till today, I'm working on the in vitro fertilization. I completed my PhD also in in vitro fertilization for the production of embryo and produced more than 50 papers in the international journal related to this technology. So what is the in vitro? It is the in vitro is the in vitro maturation, fertilization, and embryo development in our laboratory. And the first kid is born after the completion of the in vitro maturation, fertilization, and culture in the 1994. And the people are working on this technology very dramatically in the Western countries. So what is the embryo transfer in vitro fertilization? Particularly goat is slaughtered and the reproductive tract, particularly ovary, they are using as a garbage material. And for that one, if you collect this garbage material, particularly ovaries, you just collect the ovaries or through the laparoscopic technology or surgical technology, we can use the you can collect the oocytes. That collected oocytes are the immature. Then you mature this oocyte, fertilize these oocytes, and develop in our laboratory for 6 to 7 days. We developed up to the morule and blastocyst. Then we transfer the embryo. People are using the surgical transfer or laparoscopic transfer. So these are the immature oocytes. These are the just freshly collected oocytes having the cumulus monoflare. This is the zona pellucida, and this is the cytoplasm of the oocytes. We mature the oocytes in the CO2 incubator. We are having the maturation media containing the FSH, LH, estradiol. It's having the all amino acid combinations, and we are using this CO2 incubator having the proper 38 to 39 temperature with 5% CO2. And you just find out this is expanded cumulus cells, because this is expansion cell produce the hyaluronidase, which is important for the sperm capacitation and fertilization. And these are the one cell embryo. We just find out these are the two pronuclear formation, and these are the embryonic cells, the one cell embryo. And after development, we can produce good quality embryo. So friend, for the after maturation, we require the sperm for fertilization, and these are the very raw quality of the sperm. So for that one, we require the washing of the sperm. We require the capacitation and acrosome reaction of the sperm in our laboratory, and that's why we are using the different capacitation agent. We wash the sperm with the Swimop method. We wash the sperm with the Perkal gradient method, and we produce the good quality embryo. After washing, you just find out these are the washed sperm, and these are the good quality washed sperm. We are in treated acrosome reacted sperm, and these are we are using for fertilization. For the fertilization, we are using the 2:10⁶, particularly 20 million. And friend, I will just show you how the fertilization take place in the laboratory. Nowadays, it is not a test tube baby; it is a petri dish baby. These are the matured cumulus sites, expanded cumulus cells, and I just introduced the sperm. This is the polar body instructions. It's a removal of the polar body from the cytoplasm, and sperm is trying to get entry inside the cytoplasm to produce the embryo. You just find out they are helping. They are just trying. The most of the acrosome reaction, capacitation, and acrosome reaction take place here, and they are trying to reach. And only one sperm will reach inside the oocytes, and it will produce. And you just find out during the fertilization, the sperm and oocyte is just moving anti-clockwise. Just our Earth is moving anti-clockwise throughout the sun, and these are the I don't know what is the sequence, what is the problem, but they are just rotating anti-clockwise movement with the sperm and oocytes, and there after fertilization they produce good quality embryo, and that's why the problem we are using the proper media, capaciting agent, heparin, and all these things for the production of the embryo in our laboratory, and that's why I'm more interested for to show you what type of fertilization is going on here. So these are the 2-cell embryo. These are the more than 4-cell embryo, more than 8-cell embryo, and these are the blastocyst formation. You just find out that this is the zona pellucida. Sorry, this is the zona pellucida, and this is the embryonic development. Particularly, this is the trophectoderm. From that trophectoderm, placenta is formed. The zona is cracked. Then it will the hatched embryo. Then this is the trophectoderm attached to the uterus, and this is the inner cell mass. And this inner cell mass produce the body part of our body. Particularly, this is the embryo transfer technology, and we are transferring. I am also interested show by surgical transfer of the embryo. In our laboratory, we are continuously doing. We just collect the embryo in that needle. This is the surgical. We remove the reproductive organ, fallopian tube. This is the fallopian tube. And from that fallopian tube, by inserting my catheter, particularly having the embryo, I inserted the catheter in the embryo particularly and inserted the embryo. You just find out there is a bulging of the catheter, bulging of the fallopian tube for that transfer. And we are having the media and all these things. It's now I just transfer the embryo. It is bulged. Now I am removing this catheter, and these are the surgical type of embryo transfer technology in that surgical type of in vitro embryo production technology. So friend, limitation is that technology. The IVF is a big potential to propagate useful genetic and improve the growth production, but the lower embryo production, low survival rate of the embryo, and high cost hindering the technique to be popularized, because we are producing the embryo, but the most of the atoms, particularly the media, plastic wares, and all this in India, we are imported from outside. We are purchasing the good quality chemicals, media from Sigma, and the cost is increasing, and that's why these are the technique. And also funding. If I want to do the research, funding is also big way, because it's very difficult to, and it's the biological system. Most of the time, it's not with the repeatability of the same experiment, and it's create a problem for that. The friend, next is the intracytoplasmic sperm injection. The intracytoplasmic sperm injection is the mechanical insertion of the single sperm directly into the oplasm of the matured oocyte using the microscopic needle. So friend, in case of human, most of the clinical the human, they are using the in vitro fertilization and embryo development. They are using the intracytoplasmic sperm injection. They are not waiting for the sperm to capacitation and acrosome reaction. They are not waiting for the 24 hours for the in vitro fertilization and all these things. They correct the sperm and they directly insert the sperm inside the things. But the as compared to the cattle, you see, in goat is very limited, and only one kidding is there in 2003 for related to the goat. The research is going on in this technology. I will show you how the ISSI, intracytoplasmic sperm, will be taken place. Here, all the friends, here is the sperm, and this is the collecting pipette of the sperm. I will just start my video. So you just find out, this is the needle, injecting needle. It's collect the sperm from that one. They just stop the motility by disturbing the tail of the sperm, and they stop the motility. They collect the sperm, and in this video, you just find out how they insert the sperm. This is very beautiful picture of the intracytoplasmic sperm injection. This is the oocytes, and these are they are holding with the holding pipette, and these are the polar body at 12 o'clock position, and they are having the injecting needle. In that injecting needle, they inject into the cytoplasm of the oocytes. They inject it and they collect some cytoplasm of the oocytes. After collection of the cytoplasm, they just insert the sperm inside that one, and then they are using the to fertilize the egg. Particularly, this technology is very important for the human. With 80% of the fertilization and embryo development response, but in case of goat, after the transfer, the sperm is not open. There is a problem of decondensation of the sperm. There is a no proper activation of the oocytes, and that's why the main problem for the this technology limitation. People are using for activation. They are using calcium-ionophore treatment. They are using after injecting the sperm. They are giving the different electric impulses to just open or decondensation of the sperm, or the sperm head having the nuclear content is not released, and that's why create a problem for the fertilization. But in case of human, it's very normal. They are using this technology for test tube baby, and these are very normal things for the test tube baby. But these are the in our area it's limitation. But if the technology is very technology is created, however, if it is successful related to the intracytoplasmic sperm injection, then there is no need to inseminate the cattle with semen. Just to collect the sperm with the sex semen, introduce, produce the embryo, and transfer the embryo, sell the embryo, and this type of technology will take place But in the future, I don't know what is the technological development will be take place related to the production of the developed technology. So next is the cryopreservation of the sperm. So this cryopreservation of the sperm is also most important because cryopreserved sperm is important integral component for the advance of goat production. Development of the goat sperm cryopreservation has a slower rate progress to the cattle and sheep. Particularly the development of the cryopreservation of sperm in case of sheep, goat, buffalo. In a cattle, buffalo and sheep, the technology is developed very fast. But in case of goat, it's take time. Still today, it is not completely developed. For the fertilization, we require very healthy and fertile sperm, and for that one, evaluation of the sperm is important. If we are not evaluate proper sperm, then it's a create a problem for the fertilization, and then we are facing the pregnancy, and that's why the cryopreservation of the sperm is important. But the main problem in the cryopreservation in the case of goat is there is the seminal plasma, because when the bulbourethral gland secretion, when it's interact with the UAGO diluters, it creates the substance that toxic to the sperm, and that's why the main problem for the goat cryopreservation. Also, the phospholipid membrane of the goat is very fragile. When it is when we freeze the sperm, then it creates a problem, and that's why the main problem related to the goat for that technology. Then alternation, what is alternative for that one? The most of the scientists, they centrifuge the sperm, they remove the seminal plasma and use very less amount of the egg yolk, particularly 2%, and they just cryopreserve the sperm. Now commercial extender, they are without the biological component, egg yolk, particularly egg yolk, they are improving the semen preservation quality. People are using the these things, biological component or extender, particularly commercial one, and they are freezing the embryo, freezing the sperm. Particularly in our Maharashtra, BIAF Pune, they are having the very good semen freezing laboratory. They have produced 13 breed of the goat. They are having for the sale, and particularly they are selling to the Bihar, Calcutta, Assam, and Bihar, particularly West Bengal also, to inseminate the goat. In our Maharashtra, now the technology is developed, particularly goat also coming with the industry, and they are using the sperm for the fertilization. In our institute also, nowadays people are saying just collect the Saanen breed. We are imported the Saanen breed, and we are trying to freeze the semen, particularly related to that. In cryopreservation of oocyte embryo, when we are producing the embryo, and if we don't have the recipient, then it is necessary to cryopreserve the embryo. Also, it's required to just keep our oocytes or embryo number of years. For that one, cryopreservation of the oocytes is important, particularly programmable freezer, freezing, or nowadays people are using the vitrification. Within a fraction of second, they are vitrified or they are cryopreserve the embryo. And for that one, we require cryoprotectant, particularly the Grisolol, DMSO, ethylene glycol, and polyethylene glycol we are using for these things. Why we require the cryoprotectant? Friends, when we are freezing the embryos, it's a ice crystal formation inside the embryonic stage, and it creates a problem disturbing the cell cycle. And that's why if there is a bigger ice crystal formation, then it is a disturb completely embryonic structure. So we require to produce a very small amount of the cryopreserved cell. And related to that one, we are using the cryoprotectant to produce the very lesser amount of the because the oocyte or embryo contain the water, and we are wanted to produce very small amount of the ice crystal and save our oocyte or embryo. But the vitrification technology is coming up because they are not required any machine or any proper technology for the freezing of embryo. The cryopreservation technique is useful for the cryopreservation technology for the endangered species. Most of the time, we are now missing some good quality breeds, particularly endangered breeds of the goat. And for that one, cryopreservation of the semen, cryopreservation of the oocyte, or cryopreservation of embryo. Nowadays, people are cryopreserving the tissue also. They are preserving the ovaries, they are receiving the testes also for the future use. The first successful both vitrified oocyte will be produced in the was produced in the 1990, particularly. Still today, research of the oocyte and embryo freezing in the progress related to the cryopreservation of the embryo. Then, sexing of the gametes. Now, people are required, farmers are required, particularly if they are good male breeder, they want the female, and if they are want to produce only the male, because most of the time male is having high price, particularly the each reason, either each type of festival, and they require the male, and for that one produce, if they want to produce the male, they require the sexing of the embryo is most important. Sexing embryo prior to the transfer commercial application, especially in the goat, dairy goat. The established technique for the sex determination of the embryo, they are using the polymerase chain reaction. There are the different methods available, particularly for the sexing of embryo. But out of which polymerase chain reaction is the most important, and followed by the electrophoresis. In 2007, the scientists produced the embryos, sex embryos from the goat. Particularly, this very simple method, they are holding pipette, they hold the blastomeres, blastocyst, and these are the piercing needle. With the piercing needle, they make the hole into the zona pellucida and they place the embryo. After the placing embryo, the blastomeres will come out. They collect the blastomeres, and after collecting the blastomeres, they using the polymerase chain reaction for that one. Because the male specific sequence of the embryo DNA can be amplified by using the Y chromosome specific primer in the PCR, particularly the male specific embryo, male specific DNA of the embryo, they are amplified with the Y chromosome specific primer in the PCR. They collect 2 to 3 cell blastomeres, extract the DNA, and that extracted DNA, they are subjected to the PCR using the Y chromosome specific primer, which help to identify male sequence specific DNA sequence. If the PCR show amplification in the embryo is a male specific, because we are having the male specific primers, and if they are fails to show or generate the DNA, then these are the female embryo. For that procedure, we are working the embryo transfer of immunology, and it takes 5 hours for the sexing of the embryo, and it's 95% of accuracy, particularly with this technology. These are the different primers available in the market, or oligos available in the market for the sexing of the embryo. And here there is a electrophoresis product, daily product. Just you find out in the daily electrophoresis. Here only the male specific is the amplified, and also these are the female. The female is not amplified because we are having the male Y chromosome specific primers, and that's why this DNA is amplified. We transfer after sexing, particularly 5 to 6 hours, we transfer the embryo, and we produce the known specific kits, particularly. But the economic limitation of this technology, the economic factor should be considered of the sexing, because we require the embryologist for the superolation, embryo collection, we require the molecular biologist, and we require the gynecologist for the transfer of the embryo. And these are the 3 people per set, and also the cost of the sexing is also important. That's why we require a very small economical system, very required a cheap type of economical system, and these are the sperm sexing. Nowadays, people are using now we will get the XX chromosome or XY chromosome. If there is we require the female, we just disseminate with the XX chromosome sperm. Or if we require the male, we just disseminate the goat with the XY sperm. Because the current technology is based on the X and Y chromosome amount of DNA content of that particular sperm. In case of XX sperm, it's having the more DNA. In human, it is 2 to 3% difference. In case of cattle, it is a 3.3 to 3.8% DNA content, because the XX chromosome contain more DNA as compared to the XY sperm. On that basis, they are differentiate the sperm with the sex sorted machine. And the first kid is born to the sex sorted semen in 2013. The use of sex sorted semen, particularly in the artificial insemination, in vitro embryo production, or intracytoplasmic sperm injection, is very good for the products, the non-sex gene, and particularly we are using this type of technology. In case of cattle and buffalo, the technology is very important, and this is it is very technological type of system. They are using, this is the fax machine, this is the flow cytometry sperm separation machine. It is completely machine. We are just stain the sperm with the fluorescent is dye, and this sperm is transferred to the one nozzle. Only one sperm will be transferred from this nozzle, and these are the patent things. This nozzle is the patent thing with the millimeter, and that's why the main problem. They transfer one by one sperm. They just hit it with the laser light, and they just measure the size of the DNA of the sperm head, and according to the size, they sorted Y sperm and X sperm with the flow cytometry. It is a completely mechanism thing. Particularly in case of India, most of the cement station, in case of Maharashtra, we are having the 2 stations, and Gujarat, Haryana, and different type of cement goods quality of cement station. They are installed the machine of the fax, and they are separated. But in case of board, the research is behind, which is lacking of the research. At the research level, this technology are being developed in the only refined research institute, and we are just working on this technology. The involvement of the private companies providing this type of services is likely increase their accessibility to the AI and already established things. The limitation of these things particularly is related to the sperm survival, because when we are just we first give the sperm, exposed sperm to the DNA marker, particularly the H stain. Then we are the moment of the sperm is transfer, when there is a motility of sperm, we start creating the problem. We just pass one by one sperm, and for that one, most of the sperm will kill during the phase. But live sperm we collected, so it's very costly affair. Then the concentration of the sperm is very different. We are required very small amount of concentration of the sperm, and that's why the main problem for that one is use the board. In case of the, now it is in the research only, limited to the research. Then cloning of embryo, complete. I explained complete animal reproductive biotechnology, and the people are using mostly for the cloning and transgenic embryo production. Tremendous interest in the cloning has been generated in the recent year, and it is a asexual type of production of the genetically identified organism that can be obtained by the embryo splitting or nuclear transfer. Most of the time, if you have the good quality embryo, you split the embryo, and we can produce the identical twins with the embryo of splitting. But the main problem is that one key, some of the embryo part is not utilized in case of splitting, or more than 2 or 3 parts we cannot, after splitting of embryo, we cannot use it. And that's why people are using the cloning type of technology, particularly the nuclear transfer of that to generate the large amount of clones. The nuclear transfer involves the transfer of nuclei of the serum starvated fetal or adult cell into the enucleated oocytes. The fetal fibroblast, variety of the adult cells, particularly the epithelial cells, granulosa cells, Sertoli cell, skin fibroblasts, they are using for to clone the embryo. You know, in case of Dolly, they collect the mammary gland cell. This is the adult nuclear cell they are using, and they are using the oocytes. They are enucleated the oocyte. They remove the nucleus of the oocytes by centrifugation. They just transfer this adult cell in the ooplasm. Then they give the electric shock, and with the they fuse the cells. They fuse this cell with the ooplasm. They activated the oocyte with the electric shock, and they produce the embryo. The embryo will be transferred to the foster mother, and they produce the clone lab. And with that technology, we produce the Dolly. And nowadays, people are using this technology for this thing. In our India, the Kashmir University produced the first Pashmina goat through cloning, handmade cloning. And I really appreciate the work of the scientists of the Kashmiri and the Kashmiri University. They produce, and it's a pride of our cloning technology. It's a handmade technology with GPS technology. But I just hats up to the that scientists to produce the clone technology from the Pashmina goats, because I am working this technology. It's required a lot of dedication. It's required a lot of efforts to produce the clone. Till today, this technology is only research purpose, because it's very difficult. I'm just explaining the each and technology very shortly, but it's required very dedicated type of work to produce the cloned embryo also. Then the most important technology is the transgenics animal and the gene transfer, particularly gene transfer or transgenics has the potential to play the important role in the acceleration and the facilitating the genetic improvement. Although the definition of the transgenics technology involves the transgenics animal may be the defined as a containing recombinant DNA molecule in the genome that were introduced by intentional human intervention. Transgenics in the small ruminant approximately 4 times successful than the cattle and goat. So friend, nowadays people are using this goat for the transgenics animal production. Complete this assisted reproductive technology, embryo transfer or in vitro embryo production, sexing, sperm and all this things, cryopreservation. It is finally come to the transgenics animal production because friends, this goat are using for the pharmaceutical product formation because goat is very important. It is important related to the it's a very small size economical breed to maintain. Then it's giving the milking. It's a milk animal. Then it's a gestation period is very small and it's a kidding number is more. Its litter size is more, and that's why the production of the transgenics animal is the most important. In case of cattle, sheep, goat, particularly the pig, they are producing using the models, but out of which the goat model is very important because its amount of milk and incur lower investment required for maintenance of the goat. So I'm just explaining what is the transgenics animal. So friend, you should know where our research is going on. Particularly, we superolate the female, we collect the oocytes, we fertilize the oocytes, then we just inject the transgenes content solution into the male pronuclear. Then we develop the embryo 2 cell, 3 or 4 cell. Then after that one, we transfer the embryo in the reproductive tract of the foster mother and produce the transgenics animal. So most of the people, they are working for this technology related to that one. And the another technology related to the embryonic stem cell method, because transfer of transgenics animal can be created manipulation of embryonic stem cell. They collect the embryonic stem cell, and then in the embryonic stem cell, they insert the gene, particularly known gene, by microinjection, retrovirus technology, or electroporation. They just grow this stem cell, and then this stem cell introduced in the blastomeres. And after that one, this complete embryo transfer to the foreign mother. So here is related to the culture of the cells, then nuclear transfer, particularly stem cell, and transfer to the recipient and produce the transgenics animal. It is a 100% 100% success rate. Then another method is the microinjection. You just microinject the construct, and then they produce the technology, transgenics animals. But most common technology, they are using the microinjection DNA construct. And it will give the both good result for that one, microinjection of the construct particularly. And friends, it is very important. We are using the 4th generation antibiotics. We are using the very different type of medicine, but not all the medicine will helpful produce in the laboratory or companies or pharmaceuticals. Sometimes we require the biological system for the treatment of the animal. And for that one, nowadays scientists produce the transgenics animal, produce the antithrombin 3, blood clotting factor 4, alpha, antitrypsin, tissue plasminogen activator, anti-cancer monoclonal antibody, growth hormone, prolactin, so many things they are producing this goat technology, goat transgenics animal technology. And my participants, it is important to the goat is using for the pharmaceutical. Nowadays they are producing the goat, the secret of spider silk protein, which are the stronger and more elastic type of silk fiber. The milk is like that one. It is having the elasticity, and that is they are using the silk type of fiber, and this they are saying as the biosteel, and that biosteel is using for the surgical stitches or artificial ligament production. So you just think about the scientific development related to assisted reproductive technology. They are using our goat model. They are using the produce this type of goat. transgenics, they are producing the different type of biological factor, pharmaceutical biological factor for the treatment of the animals, for treatment of the human, and for the benefits of the throughout the world, for our populations and all these things. So our animal husbandry is most important, where we veterinarians play a very important role for the production of this type of technology and serve people for the animals to the humans particularly. And nowadays, people are producing transgenic goat engineered to the produce the human breast milk. University of California scientists created the transgenic goat by transferring the human gene for the breast milk enzyme and proteins into the embryo, a goat embryo. And 60% of the lysozymes and lactoferrin found in the human mother milk are producing this type of transgenic goat. And if you are having this type of goat, you just give this type of milk to our infants, babies. Those babies, they don't have the mother. Nowadays, in our region, the people are started the milk bank of the human, particularly. And in such type of things, if we can produce this type of goat milk, transgenic goat milk, we can feed our baby. Most of the babies having the lactoferrin problem, and in that case, we can produce this type of transgenics. If we can produce the one transgenic goat, it is the cost is billion and billions of the dollars, and that's why the complete things is most important. Because the most important things, limitation of this technology, enormous amount of resources are needed to produce the transgenic livestock, and the most important cost of the expensive transgenic animal to extraordinarily high. But all the friends, these are the commercial type of technology. In case of USA, Western countries, they are having the market shares. The company is having the market shares for the production of the transgenic animal. In case of pig, in case of goat, they are having their shares for this type of things, and they are producing the technology for that one. And the conclusion of this technology, the present status of the goat ART, because the time I am concluding my things, because the times is going on now, which is a 6:11. That's why I'm concluding. The present status of the goat ART shows the greater deal of the promises. Now we are giving the number of promises to the industry, and in last 2 decades, there is a change of the goat management, particularly goat breeding through the nutrition and veterinary assistant. But in spite of that one, our artificial insemination and applied assisted reproductive technology is important for protection of this type of technology. Among the ARTs discussed in the seminar, some of the techniques like the superovulation, in vitro embryo production, including cloning, still have a large margin for improvement. The art for the ARTs, for the example, cloning or transgenics, which are the expensive and technical complex, but are already being adopted by the number of technological companies of Western countries, and the production of the reproteins, which is the important, and transgenics goat is very close to the research and commercial application. But the friends, I'm working in this technology from the more than 20 to 30 years. Till today, I'm just facing the problem for the production of the good cattle, good kids, and all this technology. Still today, I'm just facing, and the cost is important. So many things is important. But in future, maybe the people are asking, okay, we require this type of goat, we require goat milk, we require so many type of meat from the goat, and we should require the solution. We should have the solution for the this technology, and that's why we are produced this. I'm just delivered, my friend. These are the imagination, or it is a completely promising type of technology. So it is important. I'm explaining where we are in India, what is the world is working on the ART, and what we can do in the future. And it is necessary in the future to learn the technology and serve to the people to increase the genetic potential of the goat. So this, I still just most of the time I am just still thinking the complete world is our embryo, and let's develop peace. Thank you very much. Thanks all the participation for listening me, and thanks to the Dr. Panchubhai coordinator to give me the time for the delivered my complete, because I'm very I'm more interested and to just eager to explain my technology with all my participants. And I'm very thanks to you just listen, because this is the online type of platform, and I'm passionate about this embryo transfer work, and I'm requested that give me the time to explain my ideas of the assisted reproductive technology. Thank you very much. Now I just give these things to the handover session to the Dr. Kantibai. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your such a wonderful lecture. It was really a mind-blowing and fascinating one, as the ARTs are now at the center of the animal production. And now I would request Dr. Pause sir to answer a few of the questions of our participants. One question is there from Mr. Vikas Chavan, and Sir Pause sir, are you there, sir? Stop share. Hello, Pause sir, are you there?
मला ऐकून आलं पाहिजे. काय झालं, काय बोलायचं काय मला?
Sir,
मला ऐकून येत नाही.
there is one question. Pause sir. Pause sir.
हो, एक प्लीज. आय एम नॉट, मला ऐकायला नाही येत. Yes, sir.
So there is one question in
Yeah.
chat box. You can see by from Vikas Chavan, and he wanted to ask that what is the OV-Sync protocol in goat, like GPG protocol in cattle? He's of 079 followed by AI. See,
Yeah. In case of the same similar with the, we are just inserted sponge, and we are just give the first 0 day GnRH injection, then 7 days BGF-12 injection, and 9 days we are giving the prostaglandin injection, and after that one we are giving 6 time artificial insemination, 16 to 18 hours, and that's why our program is there. This is the OSIG protocol. It's controlling the ovulation. This is the GPG type of programs. Yeah. Next, sir. Any questions, sir?
There are no questions. Our participants, they are telling that lecture was really a fantastic one, full of information, energetic one, and really you have provided insights into the ART in goats and how it will be utilizable for augmentation of production in goats. Sir, now due to time constraint, I will go forward for the next lecture. And before that, I would like to